Hey everyone, I know it's been a while since the last class. Thank you all for your patience and for sticking around. Today we are finally back with a brand new video where we are diving into the world of CSS. It's a language that brings design to the web. Whether you're completely new or just brushing up, this video is packed with everything you need to style beautiful websites. From the basics to transitions and animations. So grab your coffee, open up your code editor, and let's start learning CSS in the simplest way possible with real examples and clear explanations. Let's jump right in. So, introduction to CSS. This will be the first topic. That is, okay, CSS, as you all know, CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. Okay, it describes how the HTML elements are to be displayed on the web page, how you want the HTML elements to be displayed. And CSS saves the time and ensures consistent styling. So CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. It's what controls the look and feel of a web page. Without CSS, the websites would look like plain black text on a white background. So you might have experienced that because in the last video lectures and we created some basic HTML pages and you didn't find any style on it. Okay, everything looked with plain black text and a white background. Okay, so for example, if you want to style a heading in a blue color or a red color, so you can change the color of the text. All these things can be made. You can change the color of the text colors. You can change background color. You can change, and a lot of stylings can be done using this cascading style sheets. Okay, here CSS changes the heading colors. It can change the background color. It can increase the size of the elements that we have to use there. So all these can be done using CSS. Next, why use CSS? Okay, you will be having a question. Yeah, we have made an HTML web page, and you in the previous classes you haven't used the CSS. So why there is a need to use the CSS? So why should we use CSS? Simple. CSS separates content from design. This makes the website easier to manage, more flexible, and more consistent. The benefits are you can have cleaner code, reusable styles, faster loading with external CSS, and easier maintenance. And here, let us see how you can add CSS to a particular HTML page. So that means you need to style an HTML page. So in order to style an HTML page, okay, you need to have a CSS file. So how can you make a CSS file, or you need to make a CSS code is necessary. So how you are going to attach the CSS to your HTML page? This is what we are going to study in this part. That is types of CSS. Inline CSS. As you can see here, inline CSS is that CSS that you make inside an HTML element. Inline CSS means you make a uh, you make a CSS inside HTML element. You make a CSS code inside. And for that, uh, you will make use of, for example, I will show you how to make a inline CSS. Okay, first of all, uh, here we will make a new file here. Okay, I'm writing it type one dot so we need an HTML file, okay, or else where we are going to add this type. So we need an HTML file. So I just named it type one dot HTML. So therefore this is an HTML file. So that I have used a HTML as dot HTML extension also. So you can see here, as we have mentioned earlier, in order for a basic web, in order to get a basic HTML structure, ship plus exclamation, and you can get So inline CSS. See, I'm just changing the title to inline CSS example. Okay, here I'm just going to give. So I'm going to make a head tag. There I'm writing CSS type examples. Examples. Yeah. So in this itself, that means I'll give some paragraph. Like this is a paragraph example. Okay, so this one, here you can see we have H1 tag and P tag. Here, inside this element, in this H1 tag along with its contents is called an element, HTML element that we have already said in the previous classes. And here you can see inside this, if you want to add a color. So for example, you have want a red heading here, H1 tag, want a red heading. So before that, I will show you how it looks like without particular styling, how your web page is going to be seen here on the web browser. You just right click it and open it with live server. You will get it open like this. So this is how you're going to. So, but you have to make it red color. So what you can do is that you will use an attribute called style. Style attribute is used, and inside this you will give. So you have to make that color red. Therefore, you give the property name color. Okay, color. Then call it, sorry, we call it then gray. Then semicolon. So this is how. And you can see here, when you look here, you can see that this heading has changed its color to red. Okay, then similarly, internal CSS. That means inside style tags in the head. So this is an example of what? This is an example of inline CSS. That means inside this H1 element itself you have given. So inline you have given this color. So for example, another once again we can do for here also, if you are giving inline CSS to this P tag, you are giving it like this color. Color, you're going to change the color to, okay, let it be green. So I'm just giving green color. Okay. You can see the green color here. Yeah. When you look into the page, you can see this paragraph has become green color. Now, what about next is about here. You can see it's about it describes how HTML elements are placed. Yeah, this we have already discussed. Types of CSS. Okay. Now, next is about internal CSS. That is inside the a style tag in the head tag. So internal CSS means, for example, we will make once again for in order to for you to understand, we'll make one more file here, and I'm writing here type2.html. We need an HTML page to style. Yeah. So then I'm creating a basic structure of an HTML page, and I'm writing here h1 internal CSS. Yeah, as we told, that is internal CSS. Inline CSS is over. Now it is an example for internal CSS. Example page. Just giving the heading like this. P tag also I'm giving. This is paragraph and like that. So I'm giving some numbers or like whatever, some letters I'm just writing. We need to style that. So for that, I'm just giving. So here what we'll use is that inside this, you can see the head tag here. Okay. And inside this head tag is where you're going to give the style tag. We use style tag. So in the previous thing, we use the style attribute. For inline CSS, we use the style attribute. Instead of that, we will use the style tag inside the head tag, and there we can code. And for particularly if you have to code the paragraph tag in that web page, you must use the an element selector that will come, I'll tell you later. So in you're taking that element, so P is paragraph is what you have to style, so you use a P. Then you make two curly braces, and inside that you write the color. Then you have to change the text color to red. Okay, okay, wait, brown. So externally it came to as brown. So let us see whether it. So I have to open it this with a live server and see. I can see the paragraph has changed to brown color. Okay, so what we have done is that we gave an internal CSS. That means using a style tag. Inside the style tag, we gave this. We gave the styling inside the style tag, which is inside the head tag. Then now it is about external CSS. Okay, external CSS is like, for example, I can show you like I'll create another new file and I'm naming it uh, type3.html and just making a new HTML file. Here also I'm giving the basic structure of the HTML page, and this is an example for external CSS. So I'm just giving the heading as inside the body tag. I'm giving the heading as would be like H1. This is example for external CSS. External CSS. So here the styling you're going to give externally to the HTML page. External to HTML page. That actually means what? Uh, so this is the paragraph here. This is the dummy paragraph. I'm just reading here. Mm, this is the dummy paragraph here. So here, what we need is that we are going to provide an external CSS. For that, so in the previous HTML pages, you didn't have an external file linked to it. But here we have a we have to make an a file. We'll give the same name as that of this HTML file so that it will be easy for us. Actually, we used to give styles.css or style.css. The name goes like that. But for example, I'll give the same name or as you wish. You can either give the type3.css file or you can make another file, name it as okay, I'm going to name it as styles.css as we have included the styles in it. Okay. Okay. That already existed. So in the previous class or something, I have already made the styles tag. So I'm just going to give another name for this type. Yeah, we are going to make use of this HTML page. So I'm just giving type3.css file. Yeah, you got a CSS file here. So what I must do is that so I want the body of this HTML page. So here you can see open with live server. You can see the type3 HTML file that we have created. But I want this body of this HTML file to be of another color. So what I can do is that I can just go to type3.css. Okay, and I can just give that where should I give the color? I must give to the body type. Okay, so I'm just giving body. So whatever the whole body change color must be. So the background is a property that we use background color, or I can use this. Background color. So background color property. And this background color property, yeah, I need to make it a blue color. Okay, see, I need to make it blue color. Okay, we made an HTML file, CSS file, and see, there's a color has see. So type3.html. There's a color has changed. Let us see. See, you see that the color hasn't changed. Why? Because we have an external CSS with the name type3.css, but we haven't linked that with that external file is not linked with our HTML file. So that is a problem. So what we have to do is that we have to link this type3.css file with type3.html file. So for that, what we will do is that we will use inside this index.html, we can use here inside the head tag itself, we can use a link tag and link this link the relationship. Now, what is the relationship with the this that rel is equal to? So what file you are going to link? That we are going to link a CSS file. That is a style sheet. So we'll write rel is equal to style sheet, style sheet, and so the link to that particular file that is an href. Href is equal to styles dot no style. We are not using styles and CSS or CSS files. So we write here as type 3 dot CSS. This is the file that we have linked with our HTML. So link tag itself is a self-closing tag. You can see it like this. Okay. So now let us see. So what difference we have got here? See the background has changed to blue color. Okay, let us change the text colors here. For that also we can use the same external file. So here I'm going to give the text headband tag. Uh, that color I'm going to change. So background color, the property name is background color. If it is text, the property name will be this one, like H1. So you can see that color has changed. Example for external CSS, and this is a dummy paragraph. Here can give for the paragraph also here the same file, same file. So we need not have to make a multiple file. Same file I'm using. Here I'm using color. For text I'm using color yellow. Here I'm just using yellow. You can see. Yeah, I don't have that color sense. I'm just simply giving. There is no aesthetics involved here. Simple coloring just to show you only. I'm giving all these colors. Okay, now next is our next session. So that we will see that it is the that is next section is CSS selectors. So I'll explain you this first. For that see present. So CSS selectors. So there are different CSS selectors. There is an element selector, class selector, ID selector. Okay, element selector, class selector, and ID selector. Different kind of CSS selectors are there. Okay, also group selectors also there. So first of all, we will study about element selector. So for example, I have already taught you what is an element, what is a class, what is an ID. We have talked about that in the last class. So if you want to style a particular element in an HTML page, if you want all the H2 elements to have a same color, so you can code it like this. Just give that H2, then two curly braces inside that color, the color code. This is the color code is being given here. You can just either you can use the color palette and find the hex code for the color, or you can just simply write the words for that particular color. Your Visual Studio Code will suggest that color for you. Otherwise, you can refer the color palette and do the color palette codes are all available there. The hex codes for the colors are available. You can make use of that. So H2. So element selector. That means in this particular element we are selecting and that particular element. So which all H2s are used in the HTML page, all H2s will have the that particular color which is being given. Next, universal selector. Universal selector, that is star. That means if you want all the text, what all things are that displayed on the web page or what all contents are there in the web page, if you want all the text to appear with the same color, then you can choose a universal selector, that is a star, asterisk symbol as we see. Then ID selector. And you all know that particular ID. We used to give a particular ID to particular div or whatever elements we made use of IDs. Yeah, I've already explained what we use ID for. And if you want to select a particular element and give it a particular color, okay, there will be different H2 elements will be there. But inside that, you need a particular H2 element only to be of this color. So what you will give, first you will assign an ID to that HTML element, then you make use of that ID. So to represent an ID inside the CSS, if you are making use of ID selector, so that is, you will use that for example, you might have named that ID as ID is equal to content. If it is so, then you have to use hash, then the name of the ID. So if you have used the name as content, that particular name of the ID, that curly braces inside that you can either you can change the size, color, font size, or whatever it is. Class selector, for example, so in CSS, I will call the ID using a hash, and Class selectors. I've already told you that you can make a particular div into a particular class. All elements inside that particular div can be assigned to be of a particular class. So if it is so, in order to in order to style all the elements of that particular, in order to give a particular style to all the elements of that particular class, you can use a class selector. For that, you will select the you will make use of the class selector like this, making use of the dot plus the name of the class. Here, the name of the class is given main, then margin, top, bottom. So this is the adjustments made to the elements and all. Margin top, margin bottom, or it can give the color, it can be the be any property that can be changed like this. Class selector. Okay. Next topic is of box model concept. Before that, we will do some examples of our say as I told, we will study class selector. Some examples for class selector. For example, element selector, as we have already seen here. I think you know, you don't want an example for this particular selector. Element selector, this is we have take, see, you can see here type 3.html, you have a body tag here, h1 tag and p tag. So here you are using that particular p element is there, h1 element is there. That name of that particular element is itself is being used in the external css that you have here. Okay, the body tag, in order to get a blue background for the body tag, you made use of this background color. Then H1 selector. So this is a element selector. P selector. This is a element selector. So you made use of that particular element's name, and you made that particular that as a selector for styling that particular element in the CSS form. Okay. So next is the class selector. Okay, class selector, for that, okay, I'll make use of the same uh, thing itself. Here we can make use of P inside. So I have a P tag. So this is also a P tag. This is another P tag. So I'm just going to write this is another paragraph which I want in a different color. Okay. If it's so, I want to give I can give a class. I can give a class name. Okay. I'm giving a class, or I can give an ID name also. Class I'm giving info. I'm giving a class name as info. So how will I style a particular class you in HTML, sorry, in CSS? If you want to style that, I have to call this particular class, right? Using the dot. Okay, so I am going to give here, instead of giving P, I am giving info. Then in curly braces, I am giving info. Sorry, says right spelling, info. So what spelling you have used in the HTML page, same spelling you must use here in the CSS. Okay, then I'm giving the color of that particular info, that particular 2 gray or aquamarine will be aquamarine. Okay, aquamarine, just to see. Uh, and I think, see, you can see how aquamarine color, which is a light blue color. Excuse me, please excuse me. So this is a small color, a light color, not small color, a light color, that is aquamarine color that is being assigned to that particular p tag. So this was also a p tag, but that p tag doesn't belong to this class of p tag. That's why it doesn't get the color. It has a previous color itself, but this one got the particular color. The next one is about the ID selector. So ID selector also, we can make use of ID selector in the case of. So I will make use of another thing. So in the div tag, I'll show you another example. For that, in a div tag, I have p as, let it be like this is the div tags p just giving. Then maybe I'm having some h2 tag. This is so it doesn't come like this. It's not the actual order, but it is not necessary that you must follow the order. Yes, I'm just giving this is H2 heading. This is H2 heading, or just I'm just giving all inside. See all inside div. So next one, I'm just giving another paragraph tag also. Another paragraph tag also. I'm just giving this is all in. This is all in, just don't mind the spelling here when I'm writing the content here. That doesn't matter. So this is just for an example purpose only I'm writing. So this is all in div tag with the class name. I'm just giving class name. So you can see here that I'm just going to give this div tag. So all these things, this p element, this h2, this p, and this everything is inside this particular div tag, and I want to make all the elements in this particular div tag in a particular color. So I'm just giving class is equal to, I'm going to name it as main, and now I'm going to style it here. So to style the class, a particular class, if you want to style it like main, then then you must give main, then the color. Okay, color. I'm going to give a bit a brown color that is not here. So you can see here the result is like this is the inside, but universally we have given what this P tag must have a yellow color. So everything inside this got what yellow color except the P tag. Okay, except the P tag, everything inside that is the H2 tag got the brown color that we assigned to it. Now, next we can see what is ID. ID selector. For example, I have, okay, let it be, say, inside this class, I have a P tag. Okay, I'm just writing. This is my variety paragraph. Just writing here variety paragraph. But I want, see, here all other paragraphs, we got it is like a yellow color, which is as universally you gave for all, every P tag, you need this color, yellow, you told. But I need a for particular for this one, I need another color. So I'm giving an ID. ID is equal to unique. I'm just giving unique and okay, unique spelling of this. Okay. So I want to call that particular ID. So I'm just giving if in case of ID, you must give hash before that. Unique and inside that a color I'm going to give color as color must be of red. Okay, I'm just giving red. So you can see here that has turned to red. This one is brown, this is red. See, that means that particular ID, you have used the ID selector here. So that particular P tag had an ID named unique, and you use that particular ID to color this particular paragraph. Okay, using the hash unique ID. So this is an ID selector. Hash unique is an ID selector here. So next we will be going to the box model concept. Okay, content. The box model has different things like, I'll show you the box model concept. Next is we have reached the box model. Okay, we'll present it from here. So this is a box model concept. So what is a box model? I think the picture is clear for you. So each HTML element that is appearing on our web page, it took up a box or a container of space. Okay, each box size is affected not only by content, that particular box has the content, but also it has padding, border, height, width. These are all properties of that particular element. So every element, HTML element that appears on a web page has, it is like it is made into a box. So it has taken a box model. So that is a box model concept. Here, I think this is so by knowing how to calculate the dimensions of each box, we can accurately predict how elements will lay out on the screen. As we build a new page, we can arrange these boxes on the screen, creating a balanced layout with white space around the content. So the importance of the box model concept cannot be overemphasized. It could be difficult and frustrating to create a website without understanding this concept. So it will be very difficult for you to make a website without understanding this concept. So you can see here how much content. So this part is the things where you have the content. So how much the content is away from the border, that is the padding. Then the border, how much it is away from the margin. You can see there is margin top, margin left, margin left, margin right, margin bottom. So this is a box model, and the content has a height, a width, and how much it is away from its border. It has a border also. How much it is away from the border, that is decided by the properties like border top, border right, border left, border bottom, margin left, margin top, margin right, and margin bottom. Okay. So it will be very easy for you if you have this box model concept. So every element, page or every element that you see on rendered on the web page, it is like it has a box. It's like it's made to fit in the box, and it has all these things: height, width, border, padding, everything is there. Okay, so we will do some examples and we will see that. Okay, for that, first of all, we will see, we will make a box. Okay, so I am going to make a box. Okay, we will make a box here. I will make type.html. So I think our class we can have a box. We can make a box here using our HTML. So for that, I'm making use of a div with tag, and I'm going to name that div as a class is equal to class. I'm going to give a class name box here. I'm going to give the class name box. I'm just giving a content also here. I'll just give an h3 tag, and I will say that it is a box model. So that is a box model, and it is like this. I'm going to explain it to you based on this. So first of all, I will show you how it looks like on the server. When you open it, it is like say box model. So I'm just going to give a color that we can add with the CSS. So I'm going to style this div class, and you can see that here it is like a box model concept just for you to understand. Only I'm giving so point so not point dot box. I'm just calling that class particular class, that is whatever inside that particular div will be selected. I'm going to change the color of that text to okay, be green. Okay, so I'm just giving a green color. Okay, yellow green, maybe yellow green. Okay, that's fine. I think okay that you got a color here. Yeah, now it is okay. Now next I'm going to give uh, color is okay. Now I'm going to give it a width of 200 px. Okay, we can make a box earlier I told. So I'm going to give it a width of. So we told that every content has all this. Every element has this width. Okay, width I'm giving VP of. So we need to keep when I'm giving an additional uh, property, I'm just give this semicolon. So width is okay. Width 200 px. Okay, with 200 px. Just see that width. Yeah, I'm just giving a 200 px width. So in order to for you to understand how this width has changed, I'll make use of a background color. So background color, we can make it as yellow. Yellow. Then you will understand how much of this width has taken. How much width it has taken. See, width is here. Okay, now I can assign the height. Width, then I'm going to give a uh, height of I'm giving height of 300 px. Okay, I can see how it has changed. See, this is a box model. See, this height has changed from here to here. So we need not have to do that. So I'm just giving this width itself is enough, I think, or I'll give the same width. So it will be easy for you to understand the padding and all. So I'm going to give the height is 200 px. Okay, I think you will get a square box. Yeah, now we got a square box. Okay, then you can see where is the color. So this color will change to red color. So that will be easy for us to understand how this content is being rendered. So color red, color red, then and color red and content that is here red color I am giving. Now I am going to give some padding to this. Now I am going to give padding. So you can see padding of for in order for you to understand this, I will give it like this. Uh, yeah, so I will select. So I'm going to give a padding of 20 px. See, 20 px padding I give. 20 px it how much it moved from the top and bottom 20 px. So for that padding top, I'm giving padding top 20 px. Yeah, it moved from the top, it moved like this. And this I'm going to give padding left, padding left, I'm going to give 20 px. See how it has moved. So the content has moved from the border box to from the border to a 20 px left, sorry, right. Padding left, the left part has got a 20 px difference. Now, next I'm going to say padding, uh, padding bottom. I'm just going to give 20 px. Padding bottom 20 px. So you can see the difference. Padding right. Padding right. Also, I'm going to give 20 px. Equal area again. So it is like this. Now, I've already given this 200 px width. So that is making the difference here. So next is that. Next, so we have made this difference. Next, we will move on to the next portion. So you can see border. So you want to see the border. Okay. So in order to show you the border, I will give border with the border with 5px solid black color. Okay, we can give 5px solid black color. So I think you have seen the border now. So it is from the border we have changed all this. That margin I am going to give 10px. You can see the difference here. Margin I'm going to give margin left. I will make margin left 10px. 10px. See, previously you have seen that. For example, if this code was in there, this box model, this box was closely attached to. So I will copy this and show you. See, I will remove this. So what is the case? So at that time, the margin is like this, only this much difference. So when I gave this particular chord, that is margin left. From the left, it moved 10 px. Okay, so this is the difference. I think you have understood the padding, that is the space inside the border is called as the padding. That is this space. Border is this one. The space inside this border is called the padding. Margin is the space outside this border. Whatever space is outside this border, that is the margin. The space outside the border and the border is the edge line. Okay. Next is